Marcus and Jim had been partners for 30 years. Same police car, same streets, same dangers. But that evening in the electronics store, for the first time, they felt like they were in different worlds. Marcus was being accused as a black man. Jim was witnessing as a white man. Both were cops. Both were retired. But only one was being labeled a thief, race, age, or appearance. Sometimes. None of it is what it seems. Don't miss this powerful story. Make sure to subscribe and comment where you're watching from. Marcus Williams was a tall, strong-built black man, 68 years old. Jim Patterson was a white man, 66 years old, medium height, with gray hair. Both had retired from the Detroit Police Department. They had been partners for 30 years. Marcus was a street cop. Jim was a detective. From 1985 to 2015, they had spent thousands of hours in the same patrol car, caught the same criminals, and faced the same dangers. That Wednesday evening, Marcus called Jim. Jim, I'm going to the TechMax store tonight. I'm buying a birthday gift for my grandson. Wanna come? Jim smiled. Of course, Marcus. What time are we meeting? 7 o'clock at the downtown store. All right, my man, see you there. Marcus had a 12-year-old grandson named David. He was into technology and always wanted electronic stuff. Marcus had decided to buy him a new tablet. Jim also had a 14-year-old granddaughter, Emma. She liked tech too. To retired cops, to tech-loving grandkids, and both grandpas trying to save up and buy them gifts. Marcus, Jim said when they met in front of the store that evening, TechMax is expensive. You sure about this? Yes, Jim. I want David to have the best. Besides, I served 32 years as a cop. I want to reward myself a little too. Jim nodded. He understood Marcus. They had both grown up poor. Now, with their retirement pensions, they lived comfortably and could afford to buy nice things for their grandkids. TechMax was one of the biggest electronics stores in Detroit. 3 stories. Modern, pricey. It had everything: phones, tablets, computers, gaming consoles. What are you looking for, Marcus? Jim asked as they walked in. A tablet for kids aged 10 to 12. Something I can load educational games onto. They started walking through the electronics section. Marcus checked the notes in his pocket. Comparing prices, Jim gave him advice. What they didn't know was that a security guard named Tyler Mitchell was watching them. Tyler Mitchell was a 24-year-old white man, handsome but inexperienced. He had been working at TechMax for 6 months. He thought he was very smart and believed he was good at spotting suspicious customers. When Marcus and Jim entered the store, they caught Tyler's attention. To old guys. Tyler mumbled to himself. One black, one white. The black guy's looking at stuff too closely. Suspicious. Tyler had some biases in his mind. Young, inexperienced, and sadly, unconsciously racially profiling. That black guy is checking prices way too carefully. Tyler spoke into the security recorder. His white friend seems normal, but the black one is acting suspicious. Marcus was actually doing completely innocent things. He was comparing tablet prices, trying to find the best one for David. Just a grandfather trying to buy a gift. Jim, how about this Samsung tablet for $100? Good for David. Looks good, Marcus. But check out this iPad too. It's more expensive, but way more useful. $600. That's a lot. Marcus, you were a cop for 32 years. You want to reward yourself, right? David will never forget this gift. Marcus thought for a moment. Jim was right. He had worked hard his whole life, made sacrifices. Now he could buy his grandson something nice. All right, Jim, I'm getting the iPad. Tyler was watching the conversation through security cameras, but there was no sound, only video. He saw Marcus picking up tablets and talking to Jim. He's acting suspicious, Tyler told himself. He's been looking too long, might be planning something. In reality, Marcus was just trying to make a decision. $600 was a lot of money. But he loved his grandson David. Marcus and Jim walked to the checkout counter. The cashier was a 19-year-old white girl named Ashley. She was cheerful and polite. Good evening, Ashley said. How can I help you? I'd like to buy this iPad, Marcus said, placing the box on the counter. Of course, sir. Excellent choice. This model is very popular. Marcus pulled out his wallet. Inside was $700 in cash. He had saved it from his retirement check. I'll pay in cash, Marcus said. Ashley wasn't surprised. Older customers often paid in cash. Of course, sir. That'll be $649.99. Marcus counted out the money and handed it to her. Ashley checked the bills and prepared the receipt. "Thank you, sir. Have a nice day. You too." Marcus picked up the iPad box. He and Jim headed toward the exit. Tyler was still watching the situation from the security room. He had seen Marcus paid in cash. Tyler noted in the security log. Suspicious. Who carries $650 in cash in reality? That was completely normal. Older people often preferred paying with cash, but Tyler found it suspicious. As Marcus and Jim approached the exit, Tyler decided to stop them. "Excuse me, gentlemen," Tyler said. Stepping in front of Marcus and Jim at the exit, Marcus looked surprised. "Yes, son. I'm Tyler, store security. I need to ask you a few questions." Jim stepped in. "What kind of questions?" Tyler felt tense. To older men, but they looked serious. "Just a routine check. May I see your receipt?" Marcus took out the receipt. "Sure. Here." Tyler looked at it. Everything appeared to be in order. "All right. May I check your bag?" Marcus's expression changed. "My bag. White routine security check." Jim jumped in. "Son, this gentleman bought a tablet. He has the receipt. Why do you want to check his bag?" Tyler felt uneasy. His authority as a security officer was being challenged. "Sir, this is standard procedure. Can you please show me your bag?" Marcus looked at Jim. They were both thinking the same thing. Was this racial profiling? "Sure," Marcus said, opening his bag. "Here you go." Tyler looked inside. There was the iPad box, the receipt, and a wallet. "Can I check your pockets too?" Marcus froze. "What's in my pockets? Please empty your pockets." Jim was furious. "Son, this is disrespectful. This gentleman served 32 years as a police officer. He's not who you think he is." Tyler was surprised. "A police officer, retired cop," Marcus said calmly. "But it's fine, Jim. Let him check." Marcus emptied his pockets. A wallet, keys, phone, and a phone box. Tyler's eyes lit up. Where did this phone come from? Marcus looked at the phone box. It was a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, one of the most expensive phones. I didn't buy this," Marcus stammered. Tyler smiled triumphantly. "Aha. Do you have a receipt for this phone?" "No." "Because I didn't buy it." "Then that's theft." Jim was in shock. A phone box had come out of Marcus's pocket. How could that be? Other customers in the store had begun watching the scene unfold. An elderly black man was being accused of stealing. "Marcus." Jim whispered, "Where did that phone come from?" "I don't know, Jim. I swear I don't know." Tyler called out to his manager. "Karen, get over here." Karen Davidson, 45, was the store manager. She rushed over. "What's going on, Tyler?" "I caught this gentleman shoplifting. A phone came out of his pocket with no receipt." Karen looked at Marcus. He was an elderly man, respectable looking. "But that phone in his pocket." "Sir, this is a serious matter," Karen said. "We'll need to call the police." Marcus's heart was racing. 68 years old, 32 years a cop. And now he was being accused of theft. "Please," Marcus said. "I didn't take that phone. I don't know how it got in my pocket." Jim looked at his friend. He'd known Marcus for 30 years. The man never lied, never cheated. But the evidence was there. A phone box in his pocket, Jim said. "This must be a misunderstanding." "And who are you, sir?" Karen asked. "I'm Jim Patterson, retired detective. This gentleman is a retired officer too. We were partners for 30 years. Karen was surprised. To retired cops. But still, the phone was real. "I'm sorry," Karen said. "The evidence is clear. I need to call the police." At that moment, the store fell silent. Customers, staff, security, everyone was staring at Marcus, an elderly black man branded a thief. Jim was faced with the hardest decision of his life. He had partnered with Marcus for 30 years, spent thousands of hours in the same patrol car. He knew Marcus was honest, decent, trustworthy. But the evidence was there. Everyone believed Marcus was guilty. Jim could either join the crowd or believe in his friend. "Karen," Jim said, "before you call the police, can we check the security cameras?" "Why? I've been a detective for 30 years. Something doesn't feel right." "Marcus would never do this." Tyler jumped in. "The evidence is right there. What more do you need?" Jim gave Tyler a sharp look. "Kid, how old are you?" 24. "I've been a detective for 30 years. You've been security for 6 months. Maybe you should learn to be a little patient." Karen considered the situation. To retired cops, one accused, one defending. The cameras could reveal the truth. "All right," Karen said. Let's review the footage in the security room. The security room was small, but technologically equipped. 12 cameras showed every corner of the store. Karen, Tyler, Jim, and Marcus entered the room. Tyler, rewind the cameras. Let's watch from 7 p.m. today, Karen said. Tyler hit the keyboard. On the screen appeared the moment Marcus and Jim entered the store. Jim watched carefully. His 30 years of detective experience made him notice every detail. Stop, Jim said. Replay that moment. Marcus was walking around the tablet section, fiddling with an iPad. Jim was beside him. Continue now. Marcus went to the register, took the iPad, and paid. Stop, Jim said again. Did you see that guy? On the screen, while Marcus was paying at the register, there was another customer in the background. Young white, wearing a hoodie. Who is that? Jim asked. Tyler looked. I don't know. A customer. What is that customer doing? They zoomed in on the camera. The young man seemed to do something as he passed by Marcus. Can we see it more clearly? Jim asked. Tyler opened cameras from different angles. The young man appeared to put something into Marcus's pocket. What is that? Karen asked. Jim squinted. That young man put a phone box in Marcus's pocket. Are you sure? Tyler asked. 30 years detective. I'm sure. Karen was surprised. But why would someone put a phone box in an old man's pocket? Jim thought. Because he's the real thief. He put the box in Marcus's pocket to frame him. Is that young man still in the store? Jim asked. Tyler checked the live cameras. The young man was still walking around the store, looking at electronics. There, on the second floor. Jim stood up. Marcus, stay here. I'm going after that kid. Jim, be careful, Marcus said. Jim left the security room and went to the second floor. The young man was wandering around the phone section. Jim approached. His 30 years of detective experience taught him how to catch criminals. Hello, Jim said. The young man turned. Hello, I'm Jim Patterson, retired detective. Who are you? The young man's face changed. I'm a customer. What's your name? Brad Peterson. Jim studied his body language. Tense, ready to run. Brad, you put a phone box in an old man's pocket downstairs. Why? Brad's face turned pale. What do you mean? We saw it on the security cameras. You put a Samsung box in Marcus Williams's pocket. Brad tried to run, but Jim caught him with his 30 years of experience. Don't run, kid. Retired cop Jim Patterson, you're under arrest. After Brad was caught, they were brought to the security room. Karen had called the police. Brad, Jim asked, why did you put the box in Marcus's pocket? Brad remained silent. Kid, we saw everything on the security cameras. It's better if you confess. Brad finally spoke. I stole the real phone, but I was afraid I'd get caught leaving the store, so I put the box in that old man's pocket, hoping security would suspect him and I could run away. Jim was surprised. Where's the real phone? In my bag. Brad opened his bag. Inside was a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, the real phone. So you put the box there to make this old man look like the thief? Yes. I'm sorry. Karen looked angrily. You accused an innocent man. Tyler's face flushed. He had accused the wrong person. Jim turned to Marcus. Marcus, I'm sorry. I should have believed you. Marcus smiled. Jim, you suggested checking the security cameras. You believed me. When the police arrived, Brad Peterson was arrested for theft and false accusation. Karen approached Marcus. Mr. Williams, I'm very sorry. We accused you unfairly. Marcus responded calmly. Miss Karen, I understand. There was evidence. But in the future, I suggest you be more careful before accusing people. Tyler approached shamefully. Sir, I made a lot of mistakes. I'm sorry. Marcus looked at Tyler. He was a young man, 24 years old. Tyler, you are young. You have a lot to learn. But let this be a lesson. Don't judge people by their appearance. How do I learn? Jim answered. Experience, kid, and recognizing your biases. Karen interjected. Mr. Williams, what can we do to make it up to you? Marcus thought, give Tyler training on racial awareness and security, so incidents like this don't happen again. Karen agreed. Absolutely. And your iPad purchase is on us as a guest of the store. We'll cover the cost. When Marcus and Jim left the store, both were tired, but something had changed. Jim, Marcus said. Thank you. For what? For believing me, for suggesting we check the security cameras. Jim stopped and looked at Marcus. Marcus, I've worked side by side with you for 30 years. I know you. You would never do something like that. But there was evidence. Evidence can be misleading. Character doesn't lie. They sat in the car. 30 years of friendship had faced a big test today. Marcus, I realized something today. What, when you were accused as a black man, I witnessed it as a white man. We had different experiences. Marcus nodded. Yes, Jim, this was the first time you saw it. I've been living it for 68 years. What do you mean, Jim? I've encountered situations like this since childhood. Being automatically seen as suspicious. You didn't see it because you're white. Jim thought quietly. Marcus, I'm sorry. Why are you sorry for not noticing it for 30 years? Marcus smiled. Jim, what matters is that you notice it now, and that you supported me today. That evening, Marcus and Jim were sitting at Marcus's house, both drinking coffee, reflecting on the day. Marcus, I learned a lot today. What did you learn? For the first time, I saw racial profiling in real life. I never realized what you went through. Marcus showed thoughtfulness. Jim, this isn't just your problem. Most white people don't notice. So, how do they notice? By listening, observing, and empathizing. Jim nodded. Marcus, I'll be more careful from now on. Jim, you're a good man. You supported me today. That means a lot. That's friendship, Marcus. You supported me for 30 years too. Marcus showed his grandson David's gift, the iPad. At least David's gift is ready. Jim laughed, and it was free. Miss Karen is a good woman. She admitted her mistake and tried to make up for it. What about Tyler? Hopefully, he learns. He's young. He can change. Jim looked serious. Marcus, our friendship was tested today. Yes, and we passed. I've worked side by side with you for 30 years. But today, I truly understand you. Marcus smiled. Jim, friendship isn't static. It constantly grows and develops. That's true. Our friendship grew stronger today. 3 months later, Marcus and Jim visited the TechMax store again. They were going to buy a birthday gift for Emma. Karen smiled when she saw them. Mr. Williams, Mr. Patterson, welcome. Tyler also approached. He looked very different, more mature, more attentive. Mr. Williams, Tyler said. I took racial awareness training after that day. I learned a lot. Marcus nodded. That's great. Tyler, how do you feel? More conscious. And I'm still ashamed of what I did to you that day. Tyler, the important thing is to learn from it. You did that. Jim added, Tyler, this experience made you a better security guard. Karen interrupted. Tyler is now giving racial awareness training to all the staff. Marcus was surprised. Really? Tyler confirmed. Yes, sir. I tell them about what we went through that day. I warn people about prejudice. Jim smiled. That's excellent. While shopping, Marcus whispered to Jim, see, people can change. Yes, Marcus. And you changed Tyler. No, Jim, we changed him. Together. That evening, on their way home, Marcus and Jim were sitting in the same car again. Jim, you saw Tyler today. What do you think? I believe people can change, Marcus. That's right. And in the power of friendship, too. A 30-year friendship isn't earned easily, Marcus. And it's not lost easily either. There was silence in the car. A good silence. The peace of a 30-year friendship. Marcus. Jim said, thanks to you, I became a better person. Jim, we both became better people together. As the sun set that evening, the two friends were heading home. Marcus, 68 years old, and Jim, 66 years old. A black retired cop, a white retired detective. Two friends from different worlds, but sharing the same values. And a friendship no prejudice could ever break. Because true friendship doesn't see color. It only sees character, race, age, or appearance. Sometimes, things aren't what they seem. Don't miss this powerful story. Make sure to subscribe and drop a comment telling us where you watched this video. Thanks for watching.